I'm Melissa Rohlin with the Los Angeles Times here with my esteemed colleagues, Mark Medina and Mike Bresnahan. How you guys doing?
I'm not esteemed. Maybe Brez is.
Brez is esteemed.
I think I was esteemed once when I got a really good score on the SAT back in the late 80s.
You scored a 1600, right?
What's half of 1600? That's probably what I got in the SAT. It's been a while.
I'm still impressed by it. It stuck with you. So we're here at Lakers Media Day, and one thing that I was struck by was it seems as though the team has lost some chemistry now that Lamar Odom is gone. Everyone loved Lamar. He seemed like a focal point in the locker room. What was your guys' impression of what the guys had to say about that?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone is trying to put on a face that, we're just focused at the task at hand. We're not going to listen to all the trade rumors. And given that, the Lakers are kind of used to this whole charade of distractions, and they have a lot of veteran experience, but it's just inevitable that it's going to affect them one way or the other, especially from an X's and O's standpoint.
I'm going to quote Kobe Bryant and say, I don't like it. This is a terrible trade for the Lakers. Right now it appears that it's not going to lead to anything. If this was a building block for a Howard or a Paul, I get it. I don't know what team would want Dallas's first-round draft pick or how the Lakers could use a trade exception at this point to get a better player like a Howard or a Paul. But right now, this trade does not make sense. Lakers fans have a right to be asking a lot of questions right now about this trade.
Brez, what was the impetus behind it then?
Look, right now it looks like a straight salary dump. Odom was going to make $8.9 million this year, $8.2 million next year. You times that by 2 because of the luxury taxes. So that's, $32 million the Lakers just saved by doing this. He was also kind of disenchanted the last few days with the way that he had been bandied about in the Chris Paul trade. As most of us know, I was going to say we all know, but as most of us know, he'd stayed away from this training facility the last 2 days just to kind of let things settle down a little bit. So just right now it looks like a straight salary dump. That could change, maybe not today, maybe not this week, maybe not this month, but if eventually something gets parlayed with this Dallas draft pick and this almost $9 million trade exception, but right now it's not a good deal.
Mark, what do you think the Lakers' next move is?
It's hard to say. What Brez was saying, it seems like that's what it is. It's a salary dump. There's some thinking that maybe this is part of a larger effort to get Dwight Howard, but some reports are indicating that he wants to go to the New Jersey Nets. So it's really unclear at this point. And Kobe brought up another interesting thing when I asked him about what kind of identity do the Lakers lose with Lamar Odom, because he was such a positive locker room presence. He was very versatile. And he was mentioning that they have to find ways to fill in all these gaps. And when I asked him how they do that, he kind of was struck without an answer. He really was honest without knowing what they can do to kind of make up for the loss that they're going to get.
I thought it was pretty telling, too. Obviously, Lamar going to Dallas for a first-rounder next year. Kobe said, especially to them, the Mavericks, we expected to be able to go back and get another chance at beating them. Kobe was really irritated that Lamar was not traded to Charlotte or Milwaukee, someplace out east or in the Midwest where they're not going to see the Lakers more than once this year. Dallas, the team that humiliated them in the second round of the playoffs just 8 months ago.
Sounds like there was a sense of betrayal. Speaking of betrayal, I noticed you guys throwing bows to get in the middle of the huddle with Pau Gasol. What did he have to say? Is he feeling pretty hurt? I noticed he handled things pretty differently than Lamar, but what's his reaction to everything?
Yeah, Pau's been very honest about his emotions and how everything's been overwhelming. He talked to us yesterday and also today, and the main thing that he's been saying is he doesn't know where he stands, but that being said, he's just going to do what he can do to control whatever he can control with going to practice, making sure that he shows a professional attitude. But there's no doubt, and he's not hiding it at all, that he feels hurt by this whole thing.
Pau, I'm surprised and I guess impressed by his professionalism. The fact that he came out here yesterday, the second day of training camp, he practiced while Lamar stayed home, only to come here just to take a physical. Pau again expected to practice today despite the fact that he was traded. He was a goner, but he did end up coming back here because David Stern stepped in. So you have to give Pau a lot of credit professionally for continuing to practice and put on the best face he can.
Were there any players who you talked to today who struck you with anything they had to say aside from Kobe and Pau?
Kobe's all that matters. The fact that Kobe says the words, I don't like it, that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned.
It also matters what you have to say about the trade too, right?
Yeah, I'm stealing his quotes from him and using them as my own, so I'm very glad he did say exactly what he said.